Alright. Taking things for granted. It's okay to take things for granted. Because the thing is, taking things for granted means that we have become habituated to it. And that's a good thing. We need to become used to things so that we can free up mental space in our head, in our brains. That means that we can then move on to other things. That's not a bad thing. But let's define what taking things for granted is, apart from what I already said, which is becoming habituated to it. So some other ways of taking things for granted is doing things such as not saying thank you, right? Not showing appreciation, maybe through a smile or just through some kind of gesture. And I would say that that's not taking things for granted. So for example, you're in a relationship and you don't say thank you for the things that your partner does or your boyfriend, girlfriend does, because you're used to it. But it's still nice to receive a thank you, right? To receive a hug or just to receive some kind of gesture that they appreciate you, that you appreciate them. So at those times, I think it's not good to take things for granted. But by the same token, I think that's the right phrase. Let's say you're in a relationship and you appreciate everything. Let's say you know that this is not going to last, and so what you do is you say thank you for everything. So you say thank you for everything, and then I guess you kind of prepare for when the relationship will end. And that's not good either, because there's this theory called self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's one of the... I don't know if it's a theory actually. I mean, I think it's a theory. I'm pretty sure it's a theory. But it's one of the ideas or concepts that I really like. And it goes like this. So, let's say you believe... So basically, firstly, I'll define it first, which is... It's when your actions create your beliefs. Or another way to put it is, your beliefs cause you to act in a certain way that then fulfills your beliefs, or that then makes your beliefs come true. Alright, so let's use an example. Let's say you are somebody that doesn't really like the world. You feel that the world is against you. And so what you do is you treat the world as if they're against you. You don't trust anybody. You don't act kind to anybody because you don't believe it's worth your time, for example. And what that does is people see that, and they know, because they see that you're not acting kind to them, then they're not going to treat you back. They're not going to treat you nicely in return. Right? They're going to treat you like shit as well. And so what you just did was, because you treated them like shit, you caused them to treat you like shit, and then your beliefs became true. Whereas, I'll give an example of my life. I had this point when I was experimenting, and I would just, I guess, smile, given the right circumstances. I would smile at strangers who my initial thought would be that they might be a bad person, but then I decided to believe that they are actually nice people, but that maybe, you know, they have a bad day or something. So I smile at those people, and they return my smile with a smile. And it looks pretty genuine. I feel like their smile is nice and gentle, or, you know, whatever, kind. So yeah, gotta be careful of your thoughts. And then, I mean, that was kind of sidetracking, but yeah, that's what happens when you appreciate too many things, right? And then that's all you're thinking about. And because you don't think that things will go well, you don't act as if it will go well. And that might be when taking things for granted, I mean, showing appreciation to things too much is a bad thing. But honestly, while I was writing up my dot points for this talk, or this musing, I actually couldn't really find many reasons to I couldn't find many reasons to take things for granted. So I kind of clickbaited everybody. I mean, as long as you do it in moderation, because obviously you could just spend the whole day appreciating something and then that's all you're doing, you're not really getting anywhere. But if you can appreciate things shortly before you start doing it, or before you start eating, then I think it could make the difference. So I guess my point is completely different to my title, but so another example is when I eat ramen, right? So you know how Japanese people say itadakimasu and gochisousama? And what that means respectively is thank you for the food before the meal and thank you for the food after the meal. But it also has other meanings such as kind of like thanking the chef, I guess, for making the food, or whoever cooked the food, and also thanking the food itself, stuff like that. Yeah, so sometimes I'll say that, but I don't always say that because I'm in Australia and we don't say that, we don't do that in general, so it's kind of weird. But I say it anyways. I'll say it when I'm by myself, or yeah. And when I say it, it kind of makes the food taste nicer. It kind of makes me just appreciate the food more. Yeah. And so when you're in a relationship as well, when you say thank you and you think about it, you say it and you're conscious about it, don't just say it without thinking about it. Kind of just be present with your words. Then maybe by showing appreciation, you will appreciate it more. So I don't know, actually. Like maybe we should take everything. No, maybe we should appreciate everything as long as it's in moderation. Because I had this other point, right, where let's say you wake up and spend 5 minutes every day appreciating your phone. Like, that's not really a good use of time. But is it actually? What I mean by appreciating your phone, by the way, is that appreciating just how amazing this thing that can fit into the palm of your hand can do. Like it can do so much. Right? It's got a calculator, it's got a calendar, it's got social media, it's got a camera, it can phone people, it can search the net, it can watch YouTube. It's crazy. And I think spending 5 minutes on that, spending 5 minutes just sitting there and appreciating is kind of a long time. But maybe it's not, because when we go on social media, we're just being brain dead sometimes, or a lot of times maybe, and we're just scrolling down. Why not appreciate it then? I think we can by appreciating our phones, we could use it in a more productive way, because we understand just how amazing it is, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know actually. Maybe it's not okay to take things for granted. Lol. Alright. But anyway, that's the title. Because I need a good title. I think it's better to use this title, so yes. Alright, well, I hope that changed your perspective on things or something. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.